Fox Business Alert. After years of rumor and innuendo flying around Silicon Valley, ARM has finally muscled into the AI chip market. In a historic first for the company, ARM, which up until now, and we're talking since 1990, has created the blueprints for chip companies who then took and customized those blueprints into their own chips. For the first time, ARM will design and sell its own semiconductor called the ARM AGI CPU. The stock initially fell yesterday on the announcement, but today is jumping about 16.2%. Listen, the high of the session was $163. It's still up around 157 at the moment. It's at the top of the NASDAQ. The turnaround happened after the bell yesterday when Rene Haas, the CEO, revealed the company expects its new line of AI chips to generate more than $15 billion in annual revenue in 5 years, up from about $1 billion in fiscal 2028. Well, the street immediately took notice. Raymond James upgrading the stock to outperform from market perform, slapping a $166 price target on it. Numerous other Wall Street banks followed suit with price target hikes of their own. So as the semiconductor blueprint maker moves from chip royalties to actual chip sales, how does it expect to take on a crowded and viciously competitive sector in this fast-growing AI world? Joining us now in his first interview since the revenue target announcement, ARM CEO Rene Haas. Rene, again, since 1990, in a barn in Cambridge, England, ARM has been churning out these designs. I need to know the idea of this seismic shift in ARM's business, how it came about, and I know that Meta is your big partner to start with. Did they come to you? You came to them?
Yeah, thank you, Liz. A historic day for the company, and here it is. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but this is the ARM AGI CPU. So this is a blueprint that now exists inside a package, which is a chip that we are going to be selling to customers. To answer your question, yes, Meta, they are the lead partner on this, and short answer is they came to us. They said the market is underserved. We want to use ARM technology. ARM technology provides 2 times the performance in the same power envelope, and it really went from there. But the short of it is they asked us to do it, and it's the right time.
How many are they buying?
We have in our forecast, as you mentioned, so what we are projecting is up to $15 billion of revenue in 5 years. And as you said, in the near term, about $1 billion of revenue. All of that in that forecast is what we think we have supply for today. I think if we could get more supply of memory and other components, we could even ship more. But right now, that's where the baseline is. We think it's going to be a great business.
Okay, hold that up again, a little bit higher so our viewers can see that chip. And now I'm asking you the question. Don't tell me you won't answer it. How much will each one of those cost?
There's the Liz Claman price, and then there's the Meta price. No, there's maybe a better way to answer that question, Liz, is an example we gave to investors yesterday, just how this changes the business model for ARM. In the IP licensing world, on a chip that cost about $1,000, and then this chip is probably in that zip code, maybe a bit more. In the IP world, we take about $50 of profit on a chip like that. When we do our compute subsystems, which we introduced a few years ago, which are essentially IP blocks all put together, that's probably twice that number, about $100. With the chip at 50% gross margin, about $500. So again, using $1,000 as a proxy, about 10 times the gross profit selling chips versus individual pieces of IP. So it's very compelling for the business.
What can it do? And how is it different from the CPUs that are out there from AMD and Intel? I would have thought, by the way, that those are the ones that you're taking on. They are the primary CPU manufacturers. And yet the whole sector, you're lifting the whole sector. You're like Atlas Shrugged. You're lifting the whole world, at least today, when it comes to those stocks.
You know, the thing that ARM has always been known for is low power. And that power is also at no compromise of performance. And that's what the DNA of the company is, where we grew from mobile phones. Well, all that applies in the data center. 2 times the performance in the same power envelope when people are starving for power, that's huge. And as a result, people are choosing that technology, particularly now as CPU demand is exploding with agentic AI. But to your question, it starts with low power. and people don't want to compromise on performance. We're 2x to performance at the same power versus the competition, x86. And by the way, we said that yesterday, but it wasn't the first time you've heard that. Amazon has said it with their chip. Google has said it with theirs. Microsoft with theirs. These are all their ARM-based server chips. And also Nvidia did. So that's been proven, and that's a big reason that people are making this the product of choice.
Meta's your first big partner here. Who else is waiting in line? You announced this yesterday on stage. You get any phone calls, or is that already in play?
I think the sales team probably did get a bunch of phone calls, to be honest with you. But we did talk about OpenAI. We talked about Cloudflare. We talked about Cerebras. We talked about SK Hynix. We talked about a number of partners. And by the way, they're all signed up. It's not these are possible partners or they're evaluating. These are customers who have designs that plan to use ARM in the data center. SAP, another big one.
I'm looking at SMCI, up 8.33%. I believe you have partnered with them. This is air-cooled. Is this water-cooled, liquid-cooled? Because that's their bailiwick, correct?
Yeah, whatever you want, Liz, we can deliver it to you. We talked about yesterday an air-cooled rack, and that is 30 plus CPUs, about 8,000 CPU cores. And then we also talked, that's about 36 kilowatts air-cooled. We also talked about a liquid-cooled rack, which is north of 45,000 cores, the most possible. And that's for super high-intense applications. So short of it is, yes, both are available, and they're served through our partners, Supermicro being one, Lenovo, ASRock, all partners who can build racks based on the Open Compute Project format.
Nvidia has been a longtime customer of yours. I was looking on your big announcement yesterday online, and you had comments, supportive comments from everybody, from OpenAI, from Broadcom. I always want to call it Avago, from Broadcom, all of these other names out there, and including Nvidia, cheering you guys on. In a way, I know they don't really make CPUs, but you could argue they might look at you as eventually making GPUs. Are you going to do that?
You know, we could not have been happier. I could not have been more proud of the fact that we had our key partners like Amazon, like Google, like Nvidia, like Microsoft, who build chips in this market based on our technology to cheer us on, as you said. And that, by the way, says quite a bit about how they view the ecosystem and how beneficial it is for ARM to be building chips as well, because what really happens after all of this is done, more software that runs on ARM benefits everyone because the software gets better, which makes the hardware better, which makes the software gets better. ARM AGI CPU, that's all we talked about yesterday, and that's the only product I'm about to talk about today.
Okay.
So next time we're on, I'll tell you a little bit more.
Well, I need to know that because everybody wonders what is next. I mean, you have this tagline, and the tagline indicates that this is only the beginning. There's so much more straight ahead. We are not stopping here is your tagline. So that's why I ask, what is next?
It's a fair question. It's a fair question. And I think one of the things I said yesterday, there's a lot coming tomorrow, but I'm not going to talk about tomorrow today. But we think the market opportunity for ARM is significant. What I did say is that this product alone addresses a $100 billion TAM alone. And the broader semiconductor market that we think we could address someday, we think is even north of $1 trillion.
$1 trillion, the total addressable market. Wow. Rene, I will ask you about this as well. Masayoshi Son of SoftBank. Obviously, SoftBank is your biggest shareholder. How much of a role did he play in pushing ARM to get to this point?
There's a lot been written, which is pretty much true, that he and I talk once a day, twice a day, 10 times a day sometimes. We're talking all the time. SoftBank's are a 90% owner of ARM. And at the same time, you know, Mas is the chairman, and he loves ARM. He hasn't sold a share of ARM since we went public. So we talk all the time. The strategy, the objectives, what we do as a company, that's me. Do I brainstorm with Masa on the art of the possible? All the time. He's brilliant, and I'm super happy to have him as a boss, mentor, and I would say friend.
What kind of, did you get any pushback? How did you keep it quiet? That's what I want to know, because we kept asking you over and over, oh, we hear you'll be making your own chips, and you said, you know, TBD, we'll let you know at some point. but nobody came out with what exactly it was and what it could do and who your partner was going to be in all of this. That's got to be a difficult challenge, wasn't it?
Yes, but one of the things, I'm glad you asked that question. One of the magic things about ARM is that everybody in the world uses our technology in some way, shape, or form. We have the discussions with every partner on the planet, usually with the CEOs of every single partner. So we have a lot of confidential information that sits inside our company, and as a result, we've built a discipline of how to treat that data really, really carefully. I'm very proud of that. And I'm very proud that nothing leaked about this. But I think it's probably a testament to the fact that we take confidentiality super seriously. And I think that's why you didn't see anything, at least from our side of the house, come out, which is great.
Rene, we're watching, and we are fascinated to see what the next step is because, whatever's announced yesterday is in the rearview mirror. So as soon as you know, we want to hear about it. Thanks so much for joining us about the new chip.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
ARM stock right now up 16.8%. With top Wall Street economists ratcheting up recession odds, billionaire and Omega family office CEO Leon Cooperman, a legend in investing, joins us next with his verdict. It's a Fox Business exclusive.